Hermine Braunsteiner. A truly unique woman, if that is a correct expression to an executioner. It is unique because the trial over her had to be interrupted on the first day, because the judge felt bad from what he heard. And then it was because of Hermine that the United States formed the Special Investigations Department, whose task was simply to prevent the granting of US citizenship to war criminals. Hermine Braunsteiner was born in Vienna. After the inclusion of Austria in Nazi Germany, the girl went to Berlin to work at an aircraft factory. Upon learning that the guards in the concentration camps were paid much more, Hermine got a job in the Ravensbrück concentration camp, where she became an employee of the so-called auxiliary parts of the SS. In 1942, Hermine was sent to work in the Majdanek camp. Almost from the first days, a 20-year-old girl showed herself to be one of the most inveterate sadists. She got her nickname Trampling Mare. But why? Because she loved to personally beat prisoners to death with her feet. She even demanded that her shoes be specially shod with strong and reliable metal horseshoes. Apart from that, Hermine, for literally any reason and even without it, just beat the prisoners with a whip or rubber truncheon, which she always had with her. Surviving witnesses said that the Trampling Mare had a habit of standing by the gas chamber and enjoying the screams of those who die in one of the most cruel way, especially women with small children. On her orders, the children were taken away, and sometimes, in front of the distraught mothers, they were sent to the cells. In 1943, Hermine was awarded the Cross of Military Merit for her efforts in the field of extermination of people. Just before the end of the war, the Trampling Mare was again transferred to Ravensbrück, and in May of 1945, the warden managed to escape to Vienna, where she was arrested simply for her service in Ravensbrück, precisely for her service, not for executions, and received just 3 years in prison. After her release, sometime later, Hermine married an American man and left for the United States with him. Already there, both her husband and neighbors loved the woman, and when Hermine was arrested at the request of the so-called Nazi hunters, everyone was simply shocked. The first trials of the former warden took place in the United States. Then the German authorities demanded that Hermine be extradited to Germany, where in 1981 the Trampling Mare was sentenced to life imprisonment by the court. By the way, the woman herself not only did not admit her guilt, but was also indignant at the verdict. Even if I hit someone 40 years ago, do you really need to be punished for this today? In prison, Hermine got really depressed, from which she was saved by cakes and pastries, which her husband constantly sent. Leaning on sweets in huge quantities, the woman eventually earned diabetes, and it resulted into the amputation of both legs. The Trampling Mare was released from detention by a court decision in 1996. 3 years later, one of the most terrible executioners died.